Hey guys, Christy from Shark Pixel here, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about some of the new features that are now being rolled out in Lightroom 6 and Lightroom CC, depending on which subscription model you have. There are a lot of fun ones, but for me, because I'm a retoucher and because I'm a headshot photographer as well, the most exciting one is going to be the new facial recognition feature. So what we have here is my Lightroom catalog, which I've just upgraded to Lightroom CC or Lightroom 6. I'm just going to refer to it as Lightroom CC from now on, but there is the exact duplicate for the people who are not on the subscription model, and it's coming out as Lightroom 6. So if I come down here and I click on this little face icon, I'm in my library module, and I'm going to come down here and click on this new face icon. So in this catalog, I have 18,711 photos of faces. What Lightroom is doing now is it's going to be going through and indexing and detecting all of the faces in this catalog. And like I said, there are quite a few. Let me come down here and just make my thumbnails just a little bit bigger. But what you can see is right now, Lightroom is detecting faces. If I come in here and click right here, it's going to show you your kind of mission control of what's going on in your Lightroom right now. So this is nice because it gives you all of the processes that are going on at that moment. So detecting faces in film strip. So that's going on. So now we can see that Lightroom is starting to try and group together different faces of different people. So it's indexing all of these 18,000 images, and it's trying to put them together by which faces look similar using their facial recognition software. So you can see that I've got a lot of folders starting up with a bunch of different people in them, and all of these groups are in the unnamed people category. So if I come in here and I take this batch, if I click right there, you can see all of the different images of Bridget that it has found, and it has batched together as being the same person. So if I come back here and I click on this icon, that takes the group and it compresses the group again. But if I come down here and I put in Bridget, and then I press return, you can see that Bridget has now moved into the named people category instead of the unnamed people category. And then right here we've got Kathy. And you can see how that kind of starts building and building and building. So this is also Bridget, and unfortunately Lightroom wasn't able to see the similarities between these images and these images. So what I can do is I can also come in here, and as you can see, it auto-populates which name it's expecting you to put in once you've already inputted the name up here. So we can go ahead and press OK. And then what it's going to do is it's going to merge those two groups together. And look down here, we've got another picture of Kathy. And you can see it's asking, is this photo Kathy B? And I'm going to say yes. I'm going to press the check box. There we go. That has now been added to our Kathy B section. So I'm going to turn this off because I'm not going to sit here while this whole thing goes through and detects every single face. I just wanted to show you that new feature. There's something else I want to show you in terms of portrait retouching when it comes to Lightroom CC and Lightroom 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick an image here of Bridget. And I'm going to hit the D key to take that into my develop module. Okay guys, so what I want to talk about now that we're in the develop module is one of the biggest improvements and one that I am happiest about when it comes to what Adobe did to improve the speed in which Lightroom runs, especially when it comes to the Localized Adjustment Brush, which is one of my favorite tools to use because I think that there's so much potential when it comes to retouching portraits in Lightroom. And I think that the process has been made 100 times easier by the fact that Adobe has now improved the speed at which the Localized Adjustment Brush works. So I'm really excited to show you guys portrait retouching techniques using this new and improved tool. So if I come over to my Localized Adjustment Brush here and I click on that, if you come to this effect area and you click on this little flyout menu, you can see that for me, I have a bunch of different brushes that I've created that I can quickly use and quickly access in order to retouch portraits without having to take these images into Photoshop, which I absolutely love. So to start off, let's start with the skin, and let's use skin high for light skin colors. And what I'm going to do is just decrease my flow a little bit. Maybe we'll make that 60. And let's come in and see how fast we can get this to work. Let's see how fast we can get this to show up for us. I never like to go too far with portrait retouching, but you can see how quickly this tool is really doing what it's supposed to do, which is smooth the skin and really make it look very nice, but still looking natural. So I was able to smooth the skin quite quickly, and if I go ahead and hit my O key, you can see the mask overlay. You can see that I like to avoid areas where there are creases in the skin because I feel like it allows me to keep a more natural and realistic look to the retouching that I'm going to be doing using this tool. So be selective when it comes to the areas in which you paint on certain effects. Let's go ahead and press return so that we can accept the changes of that localized adjustment. And then what else should we do here? Let's do some under eye work. I'm going to come to my Shark Pixel under eye medium brush right here, and zoom in even further. And I'm just going to paint over this area and see if I can lighten up that crease under her eye just a bit. Now remember, I'm not losing any detail. I'm not losing any type of texture in the skin or anything by painting over an effect on top of my model's skin right here, because I'm just using a brush tool. I'm not actually changing any of the pixels or losing texture or detail or anything like that. So that's something that I really like about these brushes. And it definitely keeps your retouching looking realistic, but still doing, you know, a lot of the good stuff that's going to make these images look and feel like they were retouched in Photoshop, but still saving you a lot of time. All right, let's go and hit our O key for overlay so that we can see what the mask looks like. Let's go ahead and hit O again. And then, you know, if I don't think that this is doing exactly what I want it to do, I can always come to my exposure and just increase just a little bit. And it's very much like non-destructive editing, which is what every photographer should be trying to do. Hitting the backslash key, I'm going to go ahead and show you the before and after of what that retouching did for us already. With this access point selected, what I'm going to do is just switch over to my erase tool, and I'm going to decrease the flow a little bit, and let's get rid of this area right down here, which ended up being increased a little bit too much. There we go. I was starting to see my brush strokes there, and I don't want to see that. So if I hit my H key, you can hide your pins for your localized adjustment tool. And if you hit the O key, this will allow you to preview and turn off the preview for the mask overlay. So I just wanted to give you those two quick little tips. So now let's move on. Let's see, what else do I want to do? So I've got a lot of different brushes for different colored irises, and I divided them into light iris color and dark iris color because depending on the subject that you have, their iris colors are going to be different, and then that's going to affect what the eye looks like in a different way. So I'll come to my light iris green. Let's go ahead and use that one. So if I come zoom in here, I can start a new localized adjustment brush, and I can start painting in this effect. I'm going to just hide those access points quickly. And as you can see, it's adding a little bit of green color to the eyes. Now I definitely think that this is a bit much, and it's also changing her eye color a little bit away from what I was expecting to see. So if I come to my light iris green, I can come in here and I can actually change the color of the brush immediately using these pull downs, okay? So at any point, once I've already done the mask, it doesn't matter that I'm switching in between different brushes. They're all going to show up as different iris colors. I started with green, but I found out that her eye was definitely closer to blue. So there's the blue iris brush, and let's do blue dark because that's actually closer to her natural color. Okay? And then the next thing is that if you think that this effect is nice, but it's a little bit too strong, you can either play around with your flow, or after you've already added the brush, you can take this disclosure arrow and close it up. And then this gives you a light iris slider, which takes everything that's in that effect and decreases it a little bit to make the effect a little bit less visible, to bring it a little bit more back to normal. So I'll go ahead and press return for that. And then I'll bring this disclosure arrow back out so that you can see everything inside here. And let's add a little bit of lip color, and then that'll be the last thing we do. Let's do lips. Her lips are kind of matted. They're not super, super shiny, so I'm going to choose one of my matted colors. So let's do lips pink regular matte. I'm going to start with a little bit less of a flow because I want to build this up. And as I paint in this effect, you can see a little bit of the color coming through. So again, hold down my O key to show my mask overlay. And then, you know, it's a red mask overlay on top of red lips. So what I might try and do is use my Shift O key to change the color of my mask overlay. I'll hit the O key again to hide my mask overlay, and you can see the pink lips that I was able to add. So again, before, after, and you can see how easy it is and how much you do not need to take your images into Photoshop anymore now that Lightroom CC and Lightroom 6 have come out. It's really, really powerful software, and I hope that you guys start using it as much as I have now that Lightroom has incorporated these awesome new features into it. I use it every day in my workflow. Thanks so much for watching the video, and stay tuned for more Lightroom CC and Lightroom 6 tutorials coming your way soon. And you should subscribe so that you know when they come out. Okay? Hope you guys have a great day, and talk to you soon.